Tell me one time you met Bill Gates.
I have.
You sat in a steam room or something with him.
When I lived in Seattle.
Right.
At the Bellevue Club.
Yeah, he looked good naked.
No. He's the nerdiest guy in the world.
John Delgado is on the show. John, what's up, buddy? How are we doing?
Doing great, man.
Yeah?
Considering 20 minutes ago I was in bed.
20 minutes
and
ago.
And barely made it here.
Yeah, and you were driving what kind of vehicle?
Today, Rubicon 392. It's a V8. It's a 6.4 liter Mopar V8.
No way.
Yeah.
How fast is that?
It's not that it's fast, because you get to 100 and it starts shaking like it's going to fall off the frame.
So you just rushed down here. You got in your Jeep. Out of the car collection of every car you have, you decided to get in the Jeep. Well, you don't think you're going to get pulled over in the Jeep?
Yeah, it's kind of sort of incognito. It's not supposed to go as fast as it does.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw it outside. It's beautiful. How the hell do you know me? Where do we meet? I don't even know you. I think I watched Billions, this show you turned me on to, and every time I watch that show, I think you're Axelrod.
See, I think you're Axelrod.
No, you're Axelrod. I'll be the guy under him. I'll be the guy.
You'll be Wags?
Wags. I'm definitely
You're Mr. Wags?
I'm Wags. I'm the guy that's getting in trouble, causing problems.
I love Wags.
He's the man.
This is how you two are similar. He knows how to get things, do things.
Yeah, there you go.
He knows every secret lair in the city, and that's you when I think of Charlotte.
No.
You know all the secret places.
Maybe. I know where all the dead bodies are buried.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah, I do. So
we met via Rupen Patel at Porsche.
Who's Rupen Patel?
Rupen is one of the top service advisors over there. Cool guy.
Okay.
I had a 911. I needed the windows tinted in ceramic. He says, go down to Sunstoppers.
Oh, wow.
And meet my friend Mike Burke.
So maybe I owe this guy some kickback or something.
Well, you do. I looked it up. I've done 17 cars with you in 2.5 years.
No way, 17 cars, man. That's a good relationship.
That's a good relationship.
Yeah. So when I first met you, you came in the store like you owned the place. You wanted to write me a check, and you were like, "How many tint jobs do you do? How many ceramic coatings jobs do you do? And what's your P&L look like?"
Did I really?
And you came in there.
It's just how my mind works.
You were dissecting my entire company.
Sorry.
You made me feel like I was about 2 inches tall, man. I'm 6'2", 250 pounds, and when I got next to you, I felt like I was 100 pounds. Why you do that?
It's funny though.
Man?
As soon as you talk to me, 6 months later, you owned 20 more stores. So it must have done something.
You did come to one of my Christmas parties. I do remember
I did.
that.
That was good.
I know. It was fun, man. I was trying to buy your love.
You don't have to buy my love, man. I love you anyway. It's all good.
I was like, this guy's a trip, man. I want to learn from this guy. He's coming in here getting a car every 3 weeks. I mean, what do you trade a car every 3-4 months? Car 2 months?
It's as the spirit moves. But I tell you what, the last 2.5 years, there's been some great cars coming to market. So
yeah, you've been flipping cars forever.
It's just a fun thing. I drive them, I get bored, I sell. I just like the experience of trying something new.
So here's the thing, man. Yeah. Where did the love of cars come from?
I was raised by my grandfather.
Okay.
And he worked at a Chevy store for 32 years.
Where was this?
This is in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
No way.
Power Swain Chevrolet.
You freaking are from
Power Swain.
You're from Fayetteville?
I am.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
So you're truly a North Carolinian?
Of course. I was born in Greensboro.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We've known each other 5 years maybe. I didn't know that. That's why we do these freaking podcast stuff. Because I now get to ask all this.
Pulling it all out of you,
I get to get the heart and the strings and the stomach.
Just pull it all out.
Exactly. I love it.
So my granddad would come home.
Okay.
And he'd bring a different car home every 2 or 3 weeks because he would get demos.
Right.
And, when it came time for prom or whatever, for prom, he gave me I drove a 94 Z28 Camaro.
Wow.
5.7 liter. He would bring home vets. And in the summers, I would work for the dealership. So when they would go to auction in Darlington, South Carolina.
Yeah, Darlington, yeah.
I would ride down with him and friends.
Yeah.
And he'd pay us $50 to drive back the auction cars.
No way.
So in a 2 or 3 day period, we'd make 3 trips a day.
Oh, that's awesome.
For $50. It was just fun, but it was my initial exposure to the car industry.
That's amazing, man. So this was your grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's awesome. Your grandfather was a car guy, and he just kind of gave you.
He was a military guy, so he only had 2 jobs in his whole life. He worked in the Army for 32 years, got out as a command sergeant major, and then he got into the car business and worked there for 32 years.
So after you were getting paid $50 a car, transitioned me out of college, out of high school. Where'd you go to college?
I went to college at Methodist University.
And where's that?
That's in Fayetteville.
It wasn't. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you study there?
I studied English and business.
Okay. And what'd you do after that?
After that, I went to work for a company called Management Recruiters International, and I became a headhunter in the logistics business.
All right. So all you listeners out there, what's a headhunter?
A headhunter, I would go and find executives for companies.
Executive. So you're some rookie dude sitting there at this firm, and you're finding executives And do you even?
You're actually a pirate, to be honest. This is how it works.
Okay.
So the company would pay me. This is unbelievable. I'm some 20-something-year-old kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying here.
And they would pay me 25% of the value of that person's base salary.
No way.
And a fee. So if I find a guy making $200K and that's his salary,
you got a $50K
they would
check.
pay me a $50K check.
No way.
So my first year, I made Rookie of the Year. They flew me to Maui, blah, 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 blah. But I, more importantly, had found what I was born to do. I loved that business.
That's awesome.
And the way it works is, you've got a guy, let's say he's working at FedEx. Well, guess what? I'm going to go to UPS and I'm going to burn the house down until I find the right guy. So I would have my core group of clients, and then I would have the core group of companies I would pull from. And then I would just search those companies, find the people, and bring them over to my client.
No way.
Yeah.
So a company would call you and say, okay, I'm Mike Burke, I'm calling you, and I'm looking for an executive to run Sunstoppers. Yeah. What's that job title looks like, who I'm looking for, and then you would go do the screening, like almost like, what is those dating sites where you find like the
Match or...
Yeah, you got the girl and you get the profile.
Yeah.
You would profile them and find them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could do this with women as well.
You could. You could. You're probably better at that than me.
So I'm older than you now. I just had a birthday. 49.
You're 49.
Yeah, I look so much better though.
You do. You're a sexy beast.
No, it's the bald head, man.
You like that bald head.
I literally lost 10 years after shaving my head, so I look 40 now.
I hear it's the steroids.
No,
that's the word around town.
Unfortunately,
you're juicing, man.
I got off of those.
You did?
Yeah, because it was making my performance, not work as well. So
that's the downside.
So anyway, we're going back to college. Got out and did headhunting. How long did you work there?
I worked there for 2 years. My boss pissed me off one day. Brought his best friend into the office that day, and he said, "Hey, John, come on in. I want you to give this guy half your business." And I was like, "What?" I said,
"He was bringing a guy in under you."
No, with me
to give him half
to
your
stand
portfolio?
shoulder to shoulder, and then he asked me to give him half my portfolio.
No way.
Yeah, it pissed me off. So I
you had too
went
much.
to my office.
Sounds like the Democratic
hugged and
Party.
kissed my assistant. Yeah, very much like the Democratic
You
Party.
want to give half your money away?
Yeah, no, no. And I typed up my resignation real quick, printed it out, walked back into that meeting. I said, "Hey, I'm going to do you one better. Kevin can have all of my business. I resign."
Wow.
And he's like, "What?" And he literally popped up, jumped in front of the door, would not let me out. I kind of brushed him aside, and he walked me all the way to my car, begging and pleading.
Wow.
And I went home, and this is such a testament to how cool my first wife was, because I had just closed on this stupid house that was like way out of my league.
Yeah, you were baller status.
I ballered it. And she says, "What are you doing home?" I said, "Well, I quit my job." And she just laughed. She's like, "I didn't see that coming." And she did. And she goes, "Well, what are we doing here? Let's go look for office space."
Wow.
And I was like, "Seriously, baby?" She's like, "Yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's go." So we jumped in the car and we started looking for office space.
That's amazing.
Hung my shingle. I grew it to about 25 people.
What was the name of that company?
Premier Human Capital.
Premier Human Capital. Where'd the human come from? Why just people?
Because we deal with people.
I love it.
We're traffickers, but I can't. Traffickers isn't as sexy as human capital.
Yeah, I love it. So when you got your own building, leased it, got some business, where did you go after finding these people that needed work? Like, how did you originate your first client? Like when you opened your doors and got the first.
So that's a great question. I had a non-compete agreement.
Okay.
And as luck would have it, one of my biggest clients, a CEO that I was very close with, we're still good friends today. He had just left my big company that was my golden goose, and he didn't tell me where he was going. So about a week and a half after I hung my shingle, I get a call, and it's him, and he's at a completely different company that wasn't under my non-compete.
No.
And he said, "Hey, John, get your ass down to Miami. I'm going to give you a $250,000 retainer, and you can rock and roll." So I went to Miami. I said, "By the way, I'm not with that old company." And he's like, "I don't give a shit." He's like, "You're with yourself. It's even better. Here's a check for $250,000. This is what I need. Let's do it."
No way.
And that was kind of like my seed money, and I just blew it up from there.
And this guy did what? What did he do?
He was the CEO of a company called Hellman.
Wow. You're still friends today?
Today.
What's he doing today?
I just placed him in a job. He is the European CEO for a company called Expeditors.
How do I get a job placement, man?
You're your own CEO,
this
man.
window tinting thing's not working out for me.
Yeah, right.
I want to be a CEO.
The Burke Empire is expanding.
I want to be a CEO, man. That's all. One day I want to sit on a board of directors somewhere.
I don't know, man. It's a lot to even as a CEO, they're still telling you when to take a shit, when to wake up, when to go to bed.
That's why you're a CEO of your own company now.
No, I'm not. I'm just my own thing.
What do you do every day?
I don't like to be still. So for me, just getting in the zone, jumping on the phone, and moving all my deals forward, I would say that's the perfect day.
So all your deals, walk me through all your deals things. How many fires you got going at one time? Because I know you are multitasking.
Well,
Every time I talk to you, you've bought and sold another business. You've bought and sold 12 cars. I mean, I live through you, bro.
It depends what the universe is throwing at me, but on average, I'd say 2 to 4. I've learned over time it's better to pare deals down to smaller deals that make more money than lots of deals that are just kind of
Okay.
Because my time's worth more than that.
How do you find your deals? Like, what's a deal to you?
Well, a deal finds me.
Okay.
Real estate, I have people out there that are in the market, like realtors that call me about commercial properties.
And they throw you $1,000. They're like, this one, and you just weed through the junk.
They know me well enough by now that they're not bringing me anything weird or out of my wheelhouse.
Love it. That's amazing.
But quite frankly, I've still stayed true to my core business. So I've launched a company called Freight Path, which is going to be the premier education platform for supply chain management companies. And during COVID, people didn't know what supply chain was until COVID hit.
Right.
Until all their shit didn't start, not showing up anymore.
Yeah, I used to get shit from Amazon in like 5 minutes. Now it's like 12 days.
Well, even more than that. Yeah, it's extending out there for car parts, for fashion, for everything.
You're going to fix that?
I'm going to do my best. And here's the problem for everybody who's listening. If you want a job that makes a shit ton of money.
I do. I want a job.
And you don't care about going to college, go into supply chain. It's on the job training.
Would you hire me?
I would hire you in a second.
I love it. That's a real true friend right there.
You could sell cigarettes in a cancer ward.
Oh, I love it. We are dying anyway, so make it feel good.
That's right.
Anyway, so you've got this new venture, and when's that launching?
We've done a soft launch already, but our hard launch is going to be sometime in the fall, probably August 1.
Okay, cool.
We're developing the curriculum right now from scratch, so it takes time.
So let me ask you another question. So you got out of headhunting, school, and you go there. When you got your first commission check that was like making some serious coin, tell me the first cool car you bought. Like your own money, you went to the store and you said, this is the car I want. And you said, this one's got balls and I want to drive it. What car was it?
So I have insomnia, and I used to live in Greenville, South Carolina. So sometimes at night, I would go on the motor mile.
Okay.
And on Lawrence Road. And I drove to the Porsche dealer, and there was a silver Porsche, GT Silver, in the showroom, and I didn't know what it was.
What year was this?
This is 2004.
2004.
It had funky wheels on it.
Okay.
And from
probably like BBS or something.
No, these were just straight up like a chrome type wheel from the factory. I'd never seen it.
Okay.
And it kind of like hooked my heart. And I went into the dealership the next day, and I bought it. And it was a Porsche 911 40th anniversary.
No way.
A lot of cool things about it.
Silver car.
Silver, GT Silver, had the X51 package, racing cams.
What's an X package? I don't know.
X51, it's ported and polished head.
Oh, okay.
Racing
so
cams.
So it has some performance to it.
Bigger pistons.
Okay, so the GT was the performance of like a GT3 now.
Right.
Okay.
It's somewhere between an S and a GT3. It's like a middle weird model they made.
Yeah. What'd that car cost?
It was $103,000.
In 04?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
You were balling. $100,000 car in 04 was like a $500,000 car today.
I don't know if it was 500, but
it
was at least in the 170 to 200.
Wow. Okay. So you got this car.
Yeah, I got the car.
And you go to work, and all your people that work with you are like, John Delgado is the man.
I still had my like incognito car, but yeah, I would drive the Porsche, and people
like,
be like, "This is amazing."
Yeah. When you got in that car, did you just feel you made it right then and there?
It was surreal.
Did you feel like you made it?
I did.
Isn't it amazing what a car, you get in a car that you've worked for, you've been in high school, you've looked at cars in magazines and DuPont Registry, and next thing you know, you're like, I'm going to have that car one day. And then you rode down, what was the name of the road?
Lawrence Road.
Lawrence Road in Greenville.
Yep.
So you're riding down Lawrence Road in Greenville, and you just go, pull over, and you're like, I'm buying that car today. Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That's a great story.
So I would go to my garage at night, just kind of like similar to what you're saying, and I would just look at it and be like, I bought that car.
Yeah.
My hard work allowed me to buy that car.
Isn't that amazing?
So one night I jump in it, and I get on 85, and I'm doing, there's the portion of Greenville County where it's like concrete medians on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going about 160.
In that car?
In that car.
No way.
And top speed on it was like 192.
So you were pushing the envelope.
I was pushing the envelope, and in the rearview mirror, way back in the back, I see the little blue and white lights.
No way.
So I floor it, and I get up to like 185, and I shut my headlights off.
No way.
And I'm only guided by the light in the distance that is actually Lawrence Road. And I put it in neutral, it starts slowing down. I get off and I go right into the dealership, the BMW dealership. Century BMW was right there.
And you parked the car.
I parked the car, and like 10 seconds or 5 seconds later, I see he goes over the bridge. But I stayed there because he probably had radioed out. My heart was pounding like 220 beats a minute.
So you were there for like a good half hour.
Half hour, just.
And you probably went the other way back.
I did. I cut through town. I took the long way home. Hey, I do want to take this just a quick second to thank you so much.
For what?
For referring me to Mark Jaton.
Oh, yeah?
The traffic attorney. Mark has made some serious money on me.
He's a guy. Mark is an attorney here in Charlotte, Mark Jaton. He's a good dude. I know Mark from the gym. His dad and I used to work out together. And Mark was about 16 when I met him, 15, 16 years old. And they were grooming him to play football at Clemson.
No kidding.
And I used to go in and kind of give him a hard time. He had some skinny legs. So we go, man, you got to work the legs. And, to be a college athlete, you got to work the legs. And now I just work beach muscles, man. I go and do a couple curls, couple push-ups, and say I went to the gym. Micah, he looks like a freaking golden god over there. He's probably 25 years old. How old are you, Micah? There you go. He's 25 years old. He looks like we had Clearbrook Chris, one of my buddies, on the other day, and he goes, this farm boy, Micah, you got to meet Mike. You and him would get along. You both look alike. And I'm like, no, this dude's an animal. You played college baseball, right? Yeah, he played college baseball. The dude's a stud, an absolute stud. I'm just thankful to have him in my life because every time I see him, I don't eat really any junk food. We go out on the road, and I'm like, yeah, I'll have that turkey sandwich with no cheese and no bread.
And no bread. Just roll that cheese and turkey up like some carpet.
No, man, it's relationships, man. I've known you. I've turned you on to a couple of my local guys. I think my website guy's doing some work for you now, Mike Dickerman. He's a really good guy. He speaks highly of you. Mark,
I think he's still trying to figure me out.
I've been trying to do that for 5 years, and I finally just realized that if I just give you fuel, you're just fun.
Yeah.
I just rile you up. I call you at midnight. We literally, I think, texted one night when we binge watched Billions. Mm-hmm. We were texting for like 2 hours, and you're like, yeah, you got to get to the next episode, and they do this and this and this.
You're the only guy, because I talked to a lot of guys about that show, because it's really cool. That show speaks to me. You're the only guy that believed, like I did, that Axe and Wendy had a thing going or were going to. And sure as shit, it happened, baby.
It did. I love it. We were like, man, there's the writing's on the wall. The thing is, we're storytellers, but we're sales guys. So we see things.
We have a radar, too.
We do. We can smell crap, I think. I can smell it. And I smelt it with you a little bit when I first met you, and then all of a sudden it started to smell pretty good. So
yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, ditto, man.
I don't know how you do that. I'm going to take this moment to talk about QT. QT gas stations. They're right next door. They have amazing coffee. This is a vanilla cappuccino, and it's absolutely delicious. So if you like to come and get some nice coffee, go to QT. I don't even know what QT stands for. Do you know what QT stands for?
Quick time.
Quick trip.
Quick trip.
Quick trip. That's what it is. And it's funny because I look on all the car groups, like these little forums and car clubs, and all they do is hang out at QTs. From what I've heard, I don't know this to be true, but they have the best gas.
You're kidding.
That's what I heard.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. All the Lambo guys, all the McLaren guys, they all just park at QT.
Well, speaking of thanking people, you should thank Joe Biden for your current gas prices.
Oh, yeah. I love the gas prices. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to buy electric soon.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what the whole world's got to go do, right? We got to buy Bitcoin.
What about that that Tesla Plaid?
Isn't that car amazing?
Have you seen that thing?
I drove one.
The Plaid?
Yeah. Yeah, I got the first one in Charlotte.
That thing's like 1,000 horsepower, man. What is it like to drive that thing?
I got sick.
I bet.
I didn't like it.
It's like G-forces.
I didn't like it,
you're in a fighter plane.
I really didn't like it. It's like if you go to the carnival for the first time when you're like 10 and you get on this like go-kart that's electric, next thing you know, it's like it just puts you back in the seat and next thing you get dizzy.
Wow, that's how it was?
I felt dizzy.
Wow.
I like motors, man. I just like to hear the rumble.
What are we going to do? I mean, when in 5 years from now, the federal government's going to start fining. If you have a V8 gas engine, it's like a $9,000 penalty.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's coming.
No, it's not.
Yes.
That's not enforceable.
Dodge just announced they're getting rid of the Hellcat engine and a couple other V8s. Yes.
They're going to be worth a lot of money.
They have to be. But where are you going to get gas?
Saudi Arabia. I'll just get a barrel. You get a barrel. You can afford one.
Oh
You
yeah,
make enough
more
money.
than that. I'm thinking about just buying some tanks. And
Well,
just
I got
storing
a farm.
gas.
We got a farm out in
We
the
need to
country.
like do that.
I'll just put like 3 or 4 barrels of. But here's the thing: how long is it going to last? Like, if we get like 100 gallons or 3,000 gallons. I mean, how long does that stuff
I don't
actually
know how
last in
long
a
gas
tank without?
lasts.
I think you got to put like stuff in
Additives
like a
and-
year or two to keep it fresh.
Okay.
I don't know. So we got to burn a lot of gas.
I told my son this because he loves cars, and I'm like, I don't know how much money is in cars, but I said, if you can figure out a way to make electric engines sound good and put them in muscle cars,
They're doing them.
You're going to be
That's
a rich
already,
fuck.
That's already a thing.
How are they making them
They're
sound
already,
good?
they got sound systems in them already that you can have, like in Tesla. There was a guy in California. I saw it. I'm not sure what channel it's on, but I did see that guy was actually changing a Lamborghini to a McLaren to like an old muscle car.
Yeah.
And he was driving down the road changing his car, and it had like speakers and stuff in it that made this car sound just like a regular car.
That's the future.
Isn't that?
That is the future.
I don't know, man. You know what the future is for me? I want to just, instead of Ubering, I just want to have some kind of like space float car come get me and just sit back and like take me where I'm going.
The
I don't
idea
really
of a
wanna drive.
driver sounds
I just
so
don't-
good.
I just don't want to drive anymore. I'm tired. I got a text. I got an email.
Yeah.
I got a TikTok, FaceTime. There's so many things I could be doing that if a robot, like if some satellite could just send like a little pod to my house and like, boop, come
They
in,
say that's the future.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
There's shows on
Why buy cars? Why can't we
Netflix
just get
and
rid of
Amazon.
every car on the planet and we just have little pods pick us up and take us where we need to go?
Well, you're also talking about the end of your business.
That's fine. I'll find something else to do. Everybody's got a house that needs windows.
You'll be
tinted.
tinting pods, man.
I'm cool with that too. You know, anything. I think once you get into a business, you can evolve. You know, we can boats. I mean, what do you think boats? You think, when are we going to see an electric boat? That's really cool.
There's a company in Switzerland doing it.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's just weird. It's not
I
not
would
ready.
think the batteries would get corroded. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not ready.
Could you imagine getting on a boat and like having like a cigarette boat and just like,
No sound.
no sound. I'm going 112 in my boat, but nobody heard me
That's
coming.
kind of cool, though.
That would be really cool.
Here's my thing with battery technology is, have they done the studies that say there's enough raw material in the earth to support batteries?
That's a good study.
I don't know. I mean, that just seems
What
weird
are batteries
to me.
made out of?
They're made out of rare earth materials that right now China controls the majority of them.
No way.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, the country with the most rare minerals on earth, you wouldn't believe it. Take a guess.
I don't know.
Think war.
War? You got me stumped.
Afghanistan.
No way.
The number one
Get
rare
outta
earth.
here.
Yes.
Are you
And by the way,
kidding me?
Biden pulled us out of there, and China was just like ready. They're like, "Are you sure you guys are out?" We're here.
No way.
Yeah, and they're there. They're cutting deals with the Taliban for land rights, paying them millions of dollars.
They're just getting all the minerals.
They are.
They're going to control everything.
They want the battery technology because they know it's the future.
You think coal's gone? That we're getting rid of coal?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I think if Trump and the Republicans get back in, the coal's going to be a little bit, here for a little longer.
You think Trump's actually going to really run again?
What's so funny about that is,
I think he'll
Hillary's going to run again, and I think Trump's going to run again. It's going to be
Another circus.
2016 2.0.
It'd be 88-year-old people trying to, how old is this guy? 79, 78?
That's what pisses me off. How in the hell can we not find someone between like
don't you
50 and 60?
Why don't you run? You're 46.
Yeah, maybe.
Why don't you run for office?
I know one thing. I could do a better job than
But
Hillary
you know
Clinton.
what? You could find the right guy. See, because that's in your last business model was you find the right guy, right?
Problem is, who wants that giant proctoscope shoved up their asshole?
Bro, there's no way.
Everyone's gonna just make that person's life
If someone told me they were
miserable.
going to give me $100 million, but you got to be the president of the United States, I'd say I pass.
Right.
I don't want me on TV 24/7, 7 days a week in every country being scrutinized for taking a pee.
You know who just figured that out?
Who?
Joe Biden.
He don't like it.
Look at his face. I mean, the guy looks like he's like.
They're aging quick.
Yeah.
Did you see Obama? He came in looking fresh, like he played basketball.
You know what Obama looks like right now? He looks like the guy on the rice box, Uncle Ben. He looks like Uncle Ben, man. He's got the little white hair. It's a little curly.
I like Obama though.
Yeah.
The thing is, man, I liked Obama. I thought he was kind of cool. He was snazzy. I felt like if I went to a barber shop, because it was a college where I went to where there was a nice cool barber shop, and they were just talking. There was like the old dudes in
Yeah.
there chilling. Like if you ever want to know what's going on in the world, just go to the barber shop,
Right.
sit there, and they cut hair.
You get an education.
And I felt like if you ever wanted to have like 3-on-3 basketball, you pick up Obama. Hey, dude, you want to come over here and shoot some hoops? And he'd be that dude that just comes in and starts like, and he's sly and cool. Have you ever seen him play basketball?
He's good. He's got moves.
He's actually pretty good.
He's got moves.
I mean, the dude's chill, man. I was like, whether I like him or dislike him, I didn't really like him at first, but then he kind of grew on me. Like the last year he was there, I was like, oh, we're losing Obama, And
he was at least he was classy. He wasn't embarrassing.
No. He was a cool dude.
Yeah.
I had no problem with him, man. He was a chill dude. Maybe some of the things I didn't like that he was doing. I didn't get a free phone. I just wanted.
No, you didn't.
I wanted one. I wanted a free phone, man. I was like, dude, where do I get my free phone? And
I saw the phones, and they look like those Miami Vice brick phones
cool.
that Don Johnson was rocking.
Did you have one of those?
I did have one of those.
Did you?
That's crazy.
Oh my God, where is it now? Do you have any old phones in your attic like that?
God only knows.
I wish my chip. I wish I could my iPhone. I could take my chip out and like the old Motorola that was like a brick that you just pop in.
The StarTAC,
bro. That was the
phone.
I would drive down the road, throw that thing down the road, come back a week later, it still worked.
Right? It was bulletproof.
Did you see the Super Bowl?
No.
You didn't see the Super Bowl?
No.
It was all hip hop.
I hate NFL.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh, come on.
I used to love NFL. I just think Roger Goodell's a schmuck.
Really? Well, everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion on stuff anymore. I used to.
Here's the thing. I just want him to play football. Can you just do that and stay out of all of the social commentary?
Oh, yeah, I get that. But you know what I had a problem with football? I feel like now in NFL, now I could be totally wrong, but I feel like the quarterbacks always have like a red jersey on. I don't know why. Like, I feel like the opposing team doesn't sack the ball. You remember the Lawrence Taylor days?
Yeah.
Like, this dude would come over after partying 24 hours all night with whoever, we can name whoever. I've read some stories and I've seen some, things about this guy. But he would jump over, tackle 3 people, then tackle the quarterback.
You're just saying you feel quarterbacks are untouchable.
Yeah, I feel like they're
They are.
No, I'm just saying. I feel
like Brady gets hit and time stands still.
No, I feel like the defense is actually, after they hit the quarterback now, I feel like the defense is like, hey, I'm sorry, man. Here, get up.
Right.
Get up.
Are you okay, honey?
Get up. So I feel like, what happened to, bro, I'm going to take your head off.
Right.
And then you kill the quarterback, and then you got a chance to win. Because then the quarterback's sitting on the bench. They got the rookie guy coming in. I mean, that's what I would do if I had an NFL team, and I was going to play the defense. I would put 4 safeties on the front line. I'd put 4 safeties on the front line. I wouldn't have tight, or what are they called? The defensive ends.
Right.
They'd be 2 safeties on one side, 2 safeties on the other side, and it'd just be a constant.
So
blitz.
You're going down.
Pressure's on. They might score a few points, but I'm going to hurt that quarterback.
Right.
He's not throwing another pass in the fourth quarter.
Right.
The fourth quarter, he's sitting on the bench. Right.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, this is what I think everyone forgets about football.
Yeah.
And it's
a business.
It is a business.
It's a business. It's a for-profit. I'm rocking.
What are you rocking today, man?
I'm rocking a vintage 1987 authentic. That's why it's kind of fitting me kind of funny, because I bought it on eBay. I started collecting.
They didn't have fitted T-shirts in 87.
Unfortunately, this one fits. It's just this is not an extra large. I think this is a
small,
a large that's been washed about 5 times.
No, it's not, Mike. It's a small. They just didn't tell you.
No, it's an extra large. But back then, I don't know. Back in the 80s, we were thin. Everybody's had long hair, smoking pot. They were thin.
Isn't that funny? In 87, if you went to an elementary school, there were no fat kids.
They were all skinny.
Yeah,
everybody. They were all just lean and mean. McDonald's and Wendy's and ice cream and
we still ate what we wanted, but we had PE. I remember we had PE almost every day.
I used to play kickball.
Okay, right, exactly.
I used to go out and play kickball all day long. I'd come in sweaty. Yeah, that was crazy. And
good times.
I don't think we were allowed sodas in schools either. It was like we had water, milk and water. That was it, milk and water. And I think once I got into like 6 or 7, we had chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk, you had to be a baller.
Yeah, you had to pay like an extra quarter.
Yeah, they want that extra quarter, man.
You go to the cafeteria, you'd be like, I really want chocolate milk. You got chocolate milk.
Hey, how about this? You remember back in the day, we would trade? Mm-hmm. Did you guys ever trade?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it was the girls. The girls would roll up with Twinkies and the Hostess cupcakes.
They had the perfect sandwiches.
And they had perfect sandwiches. Yeah. And if they really liked you, you knew you could just literally
sit
take their
next
whole
to her
lunch
and eat their lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you give her like the pretzels.
I'm like, look, these carrots, they're organic.
Yeah.
You're going to love them.
Yeah.
Just give me that Twinkie.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
Or like a Kits, or what we have when we were kids. I was Nutter Butters.
Oh, yeah.
I used to eat Nutter Butters.
God, I haven't thought about those in years.
Nutter Butters. They used to peel apart. They were like waffles, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that what they were? They were like waffles. They peeled apart. They had like a little, yeah, that was so good.
That was good.
So what else is going on, man?
I'm doing all the house stuff right now. I have like a whole list of like 10 different things I do. The first one I do is I get my windows cleaned.
Okay, cool.
And then I paint all the just stupid stuff. I like my house to be pristine.
You do? Except your garage. I've seen your garage. It's it's atrocious.
My garage is actually a man cave now.
No, it's not.
It
Last time
is.
I came over there, we were watching TV. You had 4 beer like kegs, and you had like refrigerators giving me some kind of.
It's
ice
not
cream.
a true garage. It's a man cave.
You were giving me ice cream from like China or something. What were you giving me? You gave me some like
Korean ice cream.
Korean ice cream.
Yeah.
And I was like, where'd you get that from?
From Pepero on Monroe Road.
No way.
Great Korean restaurant.
That's amazing because you gave it to me, and like I got home, and then my son ate some, and he's like, "Where'd I get some more?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Oh, I'll hook you up.
Did you get an Amazon store for this stuff or what?
No, I send my son now.
Do you own an Amazon store? Do you have like anything you sell on Amazon or anything?
I used to own a store with a buddy, and we would sell gun grips and AR parts.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that. Yeah. How'd that go?
It was good.
They're gonna.
We're actually bringing it back with Mike Dickerman.
Are you really?
Dickerman's going to run the site, and
Dickerman's amazing.
I gave him a percentage of ownership. Do you know he's a gun guy, right?
Oh, I know. He shoots on my farm. You know, we have a gun range on the farm.
Yeah, he's a stud, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. He comes out there. You know, he used to live in Colombia, South America, and speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna have him on the podcast one day. But I've known Mike for 32 years.
Wow.
And I was his first paying customer at Lightning Mike's window.
He's told me that.
I was his first.
He told me he's seen the advent of you.
Yeah.
Like from not rags to riches, but from like entry level Mike to like now Mike.
I'm still not rich. I don't know what rags to riches means. I still work about 80 hours a week, and I work every day like I'm broke.
Yeah, you have to.
Because I work for my employees. I don't work for me anymore. I'm like, hey, do you need anything? You know, can I do your laundry? Can I get your dishes?
Right.
I mean, you know, today's world is basically owners and CEOs are basically walking in.
You're like a shark, man. If you stop moving, you die.
Absolutely.
You have to keep moving.
Keep moving.
Work. People, you need to work. You need to find what you're passionate about and go grab it.
I love working.
Yes.
Like I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to work.
Yeah.
And I don't really consider it work. I do what I'm doing right now, talk.
Yeah.
I talk to people. That's all I do.
Yeah.
So what motivates you?
Providing for my family is a big one.
Okay, but
fear of failure motivates me a lot too.
I think so too. I think fear of failure. You know what really motivates me is letting someone else down that I have respect for.
Yes,
like,
that's
you know,
huge, man.
Like if you ask me to do something for you and I respect you and I hold you to a high account and I say, man, John, I'm going to do that for you and I'm going to do it well. I don't want to let you down. You know, it's not about the money. It's about me. You're vouching for me that I'm going to do the job that I told I was going to do.
For sure.
And, you know, my mom growing up, she said, honey, you're going to be successful one day. And she gave me this piece of paper and set me down at the kitchen table. And she said, I need you to practice your signature. And I said, what? And she goes, yeah, you know, you're going to be famous one day and you're going to have to sign a lot of autographs. she was lying to me.
What a cool thing, though,
You
man.
were lying to me. Mom basically said this because she was trying to teach me cursive.
Okay.
And she was trying to teach me how to write my name in cursive. So basically writing the name over and over and over. But I'm sitting there visualizing because I'm a visual learner. And I'm sitting there going, I'm going to be famous. And I pictured every time I put that as a football or basketball or that was something
right.
that I'm writing my signature on, right? So I duplicated that signature. And I tell you what, now I have a doctor's signature. I literally have, I mean, yeah. And it was funny because my sister, she used to do calligraphy. You know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Where they take these pens that are like got two notches on them or something, and they would make all this like. She would spend hours, but I would come and read it, and I thought it was like written back in like the old medieval times,
18, 17, 1500s.
It was awesome. That's some gorgeous writing.
Oh yeah.
They didn't have TV, internet, phones, or anything, so they had to take 2 hours to like write 2 sentences. You know, it'd be like very perfectly done. Could you imagine that, working back in like the old days and writing scrolls and scripts and things like that? Could you imagine sitting in a room with a candle writing? Could you imagine that?
Dude, I just got back from London.
Did you? How was that?
It was amazing. I went to...
you went there for New Year's? No, Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah. I saw the pictures.
One of my favorite places. And we went to Henry VIII's palace. It's called Hampton Court Palace. And it's massive, man. I mean, take what you think of as like amazing palace and multiply it times 10, and that's his palace.
Wow.
And there were guys that walked around. Their whole job in life was running crews that would go into the forest, cut firewood, bring it back in to keep over 52 fireplaces going at once.
52 fireplaces.
Yeah, and some of them...
Did they start running out of wood?
No. I mean, you would think.
Holy cow.
You would think.
Holy cow. Go cut wood, burn it in the fireplace. I'm sure they had to age it a little bit. They couldn't take a fresh tree and just
I think they burned whatever they could burn, man.
Really?
Yeah.
People.
But anyway, it was just cool to see that even 400 years ago, people had a good idea of what wealth was, and they were just doing amazing things.
That's crazy. So tell me your favorite thing about London.
I like how they have a deep respect for history and preserving old things.
Oh, wow.
They don't just doze crap down. They try to preserve it or make it better.
Never been to London.
Yeah.
So-
It's definitely put it on your bucket
So if
list.
I was going to go to London, if you had to go see one thing in London, what would it be? This castle?
One
Henry VIII, is that what you say?
thing in London. This is going to sound cheesy.
Okay.
But
I like cheesy.
First of all, what makes London great is I've
Papa
been
John's.
I've been
Cheesy.
61 times to London.
No way.
Since 2000.
Where do you
61
fly?
times.
Delta, American?
I fly them all. Depends who's got the best deal.
Okay. You're not loyal to airlines. You don't try to get the points.
No, I mean, look, we're in Charlotte, so we all have to fly American and suffer American Airlines. But they've gotten a lot better. I like American.
Okay. That's who I fly with.
But one thing, it's got to be Big Ben, and here's why. It's the place that makes you feel and know that you're in London. As soon as you see it, it's way bigger than you think it's going to be. But it just makes you feel like you're in London. And when you see it and you hear it chime, you're like, oh, wow, this is cool.
Ooh, out of London, what's the second best place you like to go?
Italy.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you do there?
Chill.
Just chill?
Drink great wine, eat great food, walk.
Everybody thinks, I've heard this. I don't know this to be certain because I haven't been to Italy yet. They all think that Italy's got good pizza. That's not true. I heard their pizzas are different.
Yeah, American pizzas, like tons of toppings. They're thick crusts, and that's American pizza. It's like a lot at once because we do everything excessively. Over there, so they call it true Napolitano style.
Okay.
It's a super thin crust,
Okay.
and it's just a little sauce and some cheese, and it's flash baked, and then they give it to you, and that's it.
Is it good?
It's so freaking
Is it
good.
really?
It's so good, man.
Wow.
The whole less is more thing with this is it's real. Amazing pastries. If you like seafood, mussels, octopus.
Have you been to the big church over there in Italy?
The Vatican?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
That's another thing. It's so big.
It's a city.
It blows your
No,
mind.
it's a country.
It is its own country.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a
Yeah.
whole country.
You
So
can
they-
ask them. They'll stamp your passport.
They have their own mail. You know what? I had a friend of mine lived over there, and they said they would not trust the Italian mail system.
Yeah.
But they would go give their mail to the Vatican.
Yeah.
And they had really good
They have
mail.
their own post office.
I know. That's what
They have their own postal stamp.
Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
Not many people know that.
I was there with my family, and we were touring Vatican City. And the lady who's running the tours just starts staring at me and like something's wrong. And then she finally says, "Sir, would you mind getting your daughter off the 8,000-year-old artifact that was under the pyramids that was brought here by Italian explorers?" And I was like, "What?" And I look back, and my daughter is literally
Climbing.
on top of this like jaguar, and she's like riding it like a horse. And I
How
go.
old was she? Like 4?
She was like 4, and I go read the plate on it, and it was like excavated from underneath the pyramids.
No way.
It was crazy.
You ever seen the pyramids?
I have.
Really? How was that?
Amazing. You
done-
wonder to yourself, like
You've
this.
done everything. Ever live in a country?
I've
Did you
been
ever
to
live somewhere?
73 countries.
Yeah, but what country would you live in?
Would I live in?
If you were like, screw the U.S., I'm getting out of here. Bought my Bitcoin, and I'm going to freaking what country?
I'd go to Switzerland.
It's that nice.
It's that nice.
Okay. It's clean.
It's so clean. You could eat off the roads.
So how many places have you lived? So you went from Greenville, then where'd you go?
I've lived in California.
Okay.
Northern
Where?
California. I lived in El Dorado Hills, south side of Sacramento on the way to
Oh,
Tahoe.
yeah, Sacramento. Okay. How was that? Was it beautiful?
It was. That's where I met my wife.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Since you lived in California, what's the most famous person? I mean, famous. Like everybody in the world would just instantly know that you've met.
Clint Eastwood.
No way.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet him?
The Beverly Hilton.
The Beverly Hilton. Who's second? Who's like the second most famous?
Sharon Stone.
You met her?
At the Beverly Hilton on the same night.
On the same night?
Yes.
Her and Clint were together?
No, they weren't. But he was at the bar, and I sat down, and I'm like, holy Jesus, this is Clint Eastwood.
Wow, he's a legend.
He is.
Sharon Stone was, dude, Basic Instinct. Come
She
on.
was there meeting someone. They
Really?
ended up just sitting down.
Who else you
and-
met? Who's famous that you've met, like talked to?
Actually, one of the most famous people I've ever met was Lee Iacocca.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing. I spent 3 days with him.
Where?
In California. I was in my early 20s. I was doing headhunting. And a friend of mine said, "I want to buy a franchise for a company. You're a smart guy. Would you just go talk with this guy and come back and give me your thoughts?" He had started a company, check this out, called EV Global Motors. And Lee Iacocca back then, he was like a prophet. And this was like in 2002, I think 2001. And he was saying, electric vehicles are going to be the future. And we're going to start with bikes. And we're going to get these bikes to police officers and to the military. We're going to go to motorcycles, and then we're going to go to cars. So I flew out to LA. This car picks me up. And I was a young guy, and I had heard of Lee Iacocca. I knew he went to Chrysler, but I had no idea that this is the guy who designed the Mustang.
Yeah.
This is the guy who designed the first minivan.
He pulled Chrysler out of the tank.
Yes.
They were freaking bankrupt.
So I walk into his office. They're like, "You're going to meet Mr. I. Come with me." I walk into his office, and he's in a suit, no tie, just a shirt, unbuttoned. Nobody did that back then. He was kind of a trendsetter. And he goes, "I'm Lee Iacocca. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming out." And I said, "Mr. I, may I call you that?" He goes, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Your office is incredible." I said, "Would you mind giving me a quick little tour?" And he goes, "I'd love to." And on the wall was the original patent for the light bulb.
Light bulb?
From Thomas Edison. He had bought at an auction the original patent for the light bulb.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then he had a wall with all these binders, like 1-inch binders. And they had writing on the, on the sides. And I'm like, "Mr. I, what's that?" He goes, "That's every speech I've ever given." I was like, "May I see one?" He goes, "Help yourself." I pull it down, I crack it open, and it says like White House, 1983. And it's his speech, and Ronald Reagan's there. It had a list of guests on the side. And it's his speech typed out, but he had handwritten notes in the margins.
That's crazy.
And it said, "Make them laugh."
Make them laugh.
I'll never forget that.
That's me, man. That's
Yeah.
you too. We always just making people laugh. I cut jokes all the time.
You have to.
Some people get them, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Like I have like a weird sense of humor.
Yeah.
I think you do too. That's why we get each other.
Yeah, it's probably true.
So who else? Name a famous another one. Who's famous that made like another impact like Iacocca? You told me one time you met Bill Gates.
I have.
You sat in a steam room or something with him.
When I lived in Seattle.
Right.
At the Bellevue Club.
Yeah, he looked good naked.
No. He's the nerdiest guy in the world. He's
That's funny, man. Beat Bill Gates. Hey, man. It is what it is.
I've met a lot of famous people like in the business world.
Let me ask you,
yeah.
this is the real question. If I was to pull your phone out, who's famous in your phone that you've got a number? Just name one. I know you got a few.
Trey Gowdy.
Who's that?
He ran for Congress. He's a Fox News correspondent.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so give it to me like this. So
Athletes.
Athletes.
Yeah, I got at least a dozen of them.
I bet.
Yeah, they're all cool. You know what happens when I meet a famous person?
You just do what you do.
No, I make fun of them.
Oh.
That's the very first thing I do.
Do you really?
I make fun of them.
What do you say?
I'm not going to say the name, but I met a famous athlete one time, and he's no longer playing his career sport. And I looked at him and I go, "Bro, I think I can kick your ass." He looks at me and he's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I think I can kick your ass." I said, "I can tell that after football, you've lost a lot of weight.
Oh, have you?
You don't look that, like you ain't been in the gym."
Yeah.
He looked good. He was incredible. The guy. And the thing is, I have to remember that I played sports a little bit growing up, and locker room. So I feel like when you meet famous people, I don't know if it's just a default that I go into my brain. When I meet a famous person, they're used to being in a locker room with their liked peers. Okay, so if you think about it, you're in a room of people, like you're athletic. You've been growing up playing sports your whole life, so their teammates is where they feel the most at home.
Yeah.
And like themselves, like they can be themselves. There's no cameras around, and so I feel like if I can recreate a first experience to someone that's famous, I'm going to be remembered if I can recreate a locker room experience. So I feel like in my mind, that's what I try to do when I meet famous people. But yeah, I always try. Like I met Michael Jordan one time, and I started making fun of him. And he's not that nice. He doesn't remember me. Probably if he looked at me, he would keep walking. But I had a guy that used to own the Mercedes dealership introduced me to him, and I was like, "That's Michael Jordan. Oh my God." But now it's just Mike MJ to me. But
Didn't you tint the windows on his mom's house or something?
We've tinted all.
One of your guys
I've
did.
tinted a lot of cars. I tinted his place up at. He's got a
on Lake Norman.
No, on Chima. He's got a place, his condo or apartments or whatever is at the top of Chima. We tinted that. We tinted a bunch of cars for him and stuff. But trust me, I did not have interactions with him. He has people on people that say, "Hey, call this is good." Go do the work.
Right.
But yeah, we did his mom's place. She lives here. I know his brother Larry that used to have Flight 23. It was like a first shoe store. It was his first shoe store selling Nikes and stuff. And his brother Larry used to run it here in Charlotte, which was really cool. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of famous people. I mean, once you meet them, like there's only one famous person I think in the world that it would probably make me feel a little uncomfortable. It's The Rock. Like he was on the Super Bowl. He was like the guy that did the intro, and like he was giving me chills. I'm like, this dude's. I mean, there's nothing this guy can't do. Man.
He's very,
actor.
very
He's
motivated.
Talented.
Like if he ran for president, my God.
Let's do that. You're a headhunter. Recruit him. President Rock.
He's already thinking about it.
He should. I would vote for him in a second.
Yeah.
Regardless if he has any political whatever, I just think he's cool as hell.
Right.
Like he's
Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He's solving that shit.
He'd go over there and just whoop him.
He would.
He'd just go over there on his boat that he did in the jungle.
Putin, he'd be like, "Look, I'm either going to step on you or you're going to get the fuck out of
his
Ukraine."
His biceps are like 30. I used to remember Hulk Hogan back in the day had like these big arms. The Rock last night when I saw him on.
He has to have those clothes custom made.
They're like 30-inch arms.
There's no amount of cloth going to wrap around those arms.
30-inch arms, man. I mean, the guy's incredible. I mean, there's nothing this guy can't do. He's a comedian. He's a wrestler. He played football. He's got his own line of tequila. He's got his own energy drinks. I mean, he's the next billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, he's the next athletic billionaire. He's the next Tiger Woods of that stature.
I'd be surprised if he's not already close to a billionaire.
Might be.
If Kanye's a billionaire, I mean, The Rock is twice the man of Kanye.
How did Kanye West become a billionaire?
Adidas, his shoe partnership.
That's insane.
That was, I think, 800 or 900 million.
Yeezys or Deezys, what are they
called?
Yeah,
Sheezys.
Sheezys? I don't know. These guys are incredible. How do we not create our own brand of something?
We need to.
No joke.
That's easy.
I know. I need like a nose ring or something. Like. All right, so here's the thing. Our show Billions, one of our favorite shows, and they've gotten rid of Axelrod.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch it? Because I don't think I feel like watching it.
Oh, yeah, I'm hooked.
Really?
Yeah, Mike Prince is actually...
He's cool.
I think I'm blaspheming right now, but I think Mike Prince is a little bit more of a baller than Axe.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, it's just...
Now, here's the other thing I think. I think they're going to bring back Axe to get a little bit of revenge at some point.
Okay, down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Axe lost his wife in real life, Damian Lewis.
That's what I heard, yeah.
And I think
he's just taking some time off.
Yeah, he had to.
So when's the next episode come on? Do you know?
I just saw it this past Sunday.
It just came on?
It's on.
No, it's not.
They're in episode, I think, we're 4.
Good, because I need to get through about 6 so I can watch them all in one night.
Yeah, a little binge watch.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
Well, man, I want to say thanks for coming on and,
sure.
Spending a Monday down here at my Sunstopper shop in South End, bringing your bad little Jeep, Rubicon down here that I want to write a check and buy it because I like it. It's badass.
It's yours, man.
I do. I want it.
I'll flip you the key right now.
No, I'm going to take it.
Okay.
You can take my truck home.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna trade vehicles. And what else you got in the garage? You got another car. What did you buy? You bought you had an M5. You've had a Porsche 911 Turbo S. You just sold that not too long ago.
Yeah.
What else?
I've got a G63. I have a Turbo S.
A G63. And then what else?
The Turbo S, and then the
you still got
the
Turbo
Jeep.
S?
Yeah.
No, I thought you got rid of that.
I bought it. I have another one.
No, the guy's incredible. Is it convertible too?
No.
This one's a regular
hardtop. Yeah.
Is it 2021?
2021.
What color is this one?
It's GT Silver, same as that. That's my classic color.
That's my car too.
Yeah.
So you got a Turbo S, you got a G-Wagon, the 392. What else? Didn't you have an SUV Lambo? How was that?
An Aventador. No.
I
had
the Urus.
Yeah, I had that for like a week. I didn't like it.
Really?
No.
They had massaging seats. So
it's loud. It's thin. The seats are uncomfortable. No.
Well, you got to get a trainer, man. Get back in the gym.
Yeah, maybe so.
More water.
Maybe so.
You're drinking freaking Michelob Ultras over here at freaking 11 o'clock in the
morning.
morning.
It feels great, too.
Doesn't it?
It does.
This dude is amazing. Hey, I want to thank John Delgado. He's one of the wealthiest guys I know in Charlotte, and he's very humble. He has a cool car collection. He lives in a neighborhood that's like down the street from where I live, and you would never know it. He's like that millionaire next door, and he's got stories for days. If you ever want to know anything in the world, this dude's amazing. I want to say thanks for coming on, man.
You're too kind. Love you, brother.
Yep.